Hello guys. So now we shall be discussing what are the structures that are located on the inferior surface or the base of the brain. Okay. So let us discuss about the structures that are located under the base of the brain. Structures located under the base of the brain. Okay. So what are the structures that are located under the base of the brain, guys? So let us look at those picture now. Right. Now in this picture over here, all of you know one very important thing, that here we have got something called as a chiasma. What is this chiasma? This chiasma is related with your optic system. So you call this chiasma as optic chiasma. Okay. So here we have got this particular chiasma over here, and this chiasma over here is called as your optic chiasma. So this chiasma over here is called as optic chiasma. And after this optic chiasma, here you have got one more structure like this, right? And this has a bulb on the terminal part. Okay. So what is this structure here? Yes, I will name these structures later on, but for now let me just draw these pictures over here. And here I have got a bulb like thing, and here I have the nuclei like thing. Here on both the sides I have got this, and here also I have got two important things. And just beneath this I have got what is called as your midbrain. Right, so these are the structures here. So what are the structures that are located under the base of the brain? The first important structure which you can see over here, this one is called as olfactory bulb. Okay, so this structure over here is called as your olfactory bulb. And just beneath this olfactory bulb, this one which you have over here is called as olfactory tract. Okay, this is called as olfactory tract. So one we have got is the olfactory bulb, and the other one we have got is the olfactory tract. Now just beneath this olfactory tract, this particular structure which is present over here, this is called as optic chiasma. Okay, this particular structure over here is called as your optic chiasma. And beneath your optic chiasma, this structure over here is called as your mammary body, right? So how many mammillary bodies are present? There are two mammillary bodies. So here, where are these mammillary bodies are present? They are present just behind your optic chiasma. So these are called as mammillary bodies, right? So this is one mammillary body. On the other hand, we have got another mammillary body. And next important thing is that here you can see two nuclei, right? So this nuclei over here is called as lateral geniculate body, right? So this is called as lateral geniculate body. And when I tell there is lateral geniculate body, there will also be what? There will also be medial geniculate body. So there is medial geniculate body. So we have got two bodies over here. One is called as a lateral geniculate body, and the other one is called as a medial geniculate body. And next important thing over here we have got is the midbrain. So this structure over here is called as your midbrain. Now within the center of the midbrain, do you see a small cavity like thing, right? This yellow color spot, this is nothing but called as the cerebral aqueduct. Cerebral aqueduct, through which your CSF will flow, right? So what are the structures that are located under the base of the brain? So first important structure over here is that we have got something called as what? We have got this olfactory bulb. Okay, so we have got olfactory bulb, and after this olfactory bulb, the second important structure we have got is your olfactory tract. Okay, after that the next important structure we have got is your optic chiasma. After optic chiasma, you have got such bodies called as mammillary bodies, right? So after these mammillary bodies, the next important structure you have got over here is your midbrain. Okay, and within the midbrain you have got cerebral aqueduct, and finally you have got lateral geniculate body as well as your medial geniculate body. So these are the structures that are located under the base of the brain. Now let us compare the same picture with the real image, with the real gross image, okay. So if you can see over here, this is your real gross image. Now in this real gross image, you know that this is cerebral hemisphere, this is cerebral hemisphere, two halves of the cerebral hemisphere. And if you remember, in the starting I have told you one thing, that both the cerebral hemispheres, they join here, and this fissure you call it as a longitudinal fissure, right. So all of you just look at that now. You see a fissure in the center. Can I call this as a longitudinal fissure? And next important thing is that if you can see over here, this one, can I call it as a superior lateral surface? Right, this is called as the superior lateral surface. And can I call this surface as the medial surface like this? Yeah, this is called as a medial surface. And by the way, this structure which you can see over here, right, this is what is called as your cerebellum. This is your cerebellum. So this is your right cerebellar hemisphere, this is your left cerebellar hemisphere. In the same way, cerebral hemispheres also, you have got your right cerebral hemisphere, you have got your left cerebral hemisphere, right. Now, what is the first thing we discussed? We discussed that there is something called as olfactory bulb. Now, if you can very closely look at this picture, you see, can you see something? There is a bulb like thing which is located on the top over here. So can I call this bulb like thing as olfactory bulb? So this one is called as your olfactory bulb. Okay. Now after this olfactory bulb, the next one just beneath that you have got is your olfactory tract. So this is your olfactory tract. So you have got your olfactory bulb, you have got your olfactory tract. Now just beneath that, you see this crossed X-shaped structure over here. This crossed X-shaped structure, can I call this one as optic chiasma? Yes. So this is called as optic chiasma. Optic chiasma. And what did I discuss? Behind this optic chiasma, I have got two mammillary bodies, right? So all of you just see, can you see these two mammillary bodies which are located behind this, right? So again, I'm rubbing it out, just have a look. You see these two mammillary bodies which are located here. So these two structures over here are called as mammillary bodies. These two structures over here are called as mammillary bodies, right? And where is your midbrain? See, this structure over here is called as your midbrain. So where is this geniculate bodies? You cannot see the geniculate bodies over here, but just think that these are the midbrain, and in the center of the midbrain you have got your cerebral aqueduct, right? And by the way, this one over here is called as your spinal cord. Okay, right. So these, and by the way, what are these things that are coming out? These are the nerves. We will discuss about this in pretty much detail later on. But so what you have to know is that these are the structures that are located at the base of the brain, right? So they can put up this picture and they can point an arrow at one of the important structures, and they can ask you what are the structures, what is this structure, what is that structure and all. So this is pretty important to know, okay. So these are some of the important things which you need to know regarding the structures that are located in the base of the brain. So thank you so much for watching my video. Goodbye.